Hey, hey, welcome to you. Welcome to these January live readings. So I've got another new deck of cards to share with you, or some of you might have seen them already. They are called the Empath's Oracle. And I do really just enjoy the images. I'll show you some of the cards. Oops. So that one's a wee bit freaky. But they are all basically faces with interesting, amazing patterns, designs, graphics. God, it's so hard with this mirrored screen. Yeah, so we're going to give these a go today. They do have words at the bottom, but I won't be reading any book or anything like that. I'll just be kind of tuning in to you, your energy, taking into account the words, and also picking up on hidden messages within those amazing images on there. So we've got a few people on the list today, 10 actually. So I'm going to tell you the order that I'll do it in. So if you do want to skip ahead, you can go ahead and try and work that out. Yeah, I should learn how to segment the video so that you can, see at the bottom of a YouTube video, can't you, where, you can segment things. Maybe I can work out how to do that to make it easier for you. But anyway, it's always good to listen to other people's readings. There's always stuff in there for you to gather as well. So the order is going to be Katie, Phil, Lee, Susanna, Kelly, Michelle, Kiyomi, Cherie, Juliet, and Sarah. And you can feel free to comment here if you're watching live, or if you're not, doesn't matter. If you are watching live though and you want to interact with me, it's probably best to do it on YouTube, because then I can see on my screen right in front of me your comment. I will get your comment if you post on Patreon, because I've got my phone, next to me, which should show me the notification when you comment, but it's more seamless on YouTube, just so you know. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this first reading with Katie. So Katie, interesting circumstance here. Well, I'm kind of looking forward to tuning in about this. So you've met someone new who's got a very cool name, interesting name, Augustine. And you're just kind of wondering about this new possibility, this new relationship. So let's see what we get, what card we get for you regarding this, Katie, this new person. Okay. All right. Oh, goodness. That was the card I was holding up before. So it says conquering social anxiety. So I'm going to read this in regards to your question. And let's see what we pick up on here, because, we don't have to take it at complete face value of those words. We can read around that to do with the question that you asked about this new person. So I'm just going to take a moment to connect in with you. So I feel so I'm just picking up on you for now, and then I will tune in on this other person. But what I'm feeling is wanting to be communicated via this card is that feeling of spotlight on me. And, we talked about it a bit in Dharma school, I think, when you feel like the spotlight is on you in whatever circumstance, in a social gathering or even just with one person, it can be like that. And especially, when you're working as a light worker, of course, when you feel like the spotlight is on you, it can feel uncomfortable. It can make you feel, self-conscious, and you can lose your flow, feel awkward. There can be lots of interesting things that happen from that. And I feel the message wanting to be communicated here to you, it's about really feeling comfortable within your authenticity and your vulnerability. I think we've talked about this a little bit too, haven't we, Katie? Feeling comfortable, being more exposed, being more vulnerable, honest, open, that kind of thing. Now, this is a layer that your guides are wanting to work on with you, to feel that little bit more comfortable. And I suppose it's in regards to this new relationship to this person. Now, the heart plays a big role in this. And as you can see on this card, it looks like there's a bird kind of flying out of the heart. When your heart is open and you feel really safe and comfortable, then obviously it's going to be easier for you to be authentic, honest, and open, because you've got nothing to lose. When our heart is open, we're already safe. We're already in the energy that we want to be in, and therefore it's okay for us to be honest. It's okay for us to reveal our true self, or just be seen, I suppose. Now, what was I going to say about that? That was really important, Katie. Yeah, so I don't know what that last little thing was. It'll come back to me, but you guys are working with you on a new layer. Yeah, that's right. It's coming back to me now. So the ultimate goal is to feel comfortable in your own skin, and that feeling of yours, that is when you're feeling really connected, really aligned, really centered, open heart, loving. The ultimate goal is to be able to live in that energy, regardless of what other people are doing. So when we want to, this can be tricky in relationships, because we have attachments and we have dreams, which are the same thing, kind of thing. We want this person to like us. We want this certain thing to happen. We want this particular outcome, which means we start to lean away sometimes from just being honest, authentic, open, in the loving, spontaneous, flowing present moment. We tend to modify or manipulate our behavior, or close parts down, and in order to try to maintain a source of love, or help the other person to see the best side of us. All these kinds of things. Very normal ways of being in the world. So what the message I'm getting here is to let go of attachment to outcomes, because that's going to help you to be your natural, authentic, beautiful soul self within this connection. And then if you can be your beautiful, authentic, soul-centered self within this connection, and it still happens and it still evolves, then boom, you've created a beautiful thing, haven't you? If you have to hide and pack away parts of yourself in order to make it work, well, you've created some work. You've created some work for yourself that's going to come and bite you on the ass later, So that's really the message here, is to, as much as you can, because, we're all just doing the best we can, but just be mindful of if you are trying to modify your behavior, or pack parts of you away, or hide pieces of you in order to have particular outcomes, or because of certain attachments. And just see if you can find that center of love within yourself, where you're already safe, you're already free, you're already liberated, you already are loved, you already are love. More than just being love, or having love come at you. You are that, right? We don't need it. We are it. So if we sit in that, and we know that's what we really are, Why would we need to change for anybody else? So just something to consider. And Augustine, let me just see if there's anything you guys want to say about this particular person and your particular connection. When I tune into the both of you, I see an attraction, I see a warmth, and I feel a sense of fun as well. But ultimately, the overriding thing that I'm getting is, because guides don't like to kind of tell the future and give spoilers, unfortunately. But what they are saying is, all relationships are practice. All relationships are practice and alignment, practicing, the reflections and what they're showing us about ourselves, coming back to alignment, letting go of things, coming back to alignment, coming back to alignment. This person is another way to practice that. And ultimately, that what they want to say is to not, again, have attachments. Just try and be free and easy. And knowing you, Katie, I'm sure you probably already are in that energy anyway. But really being mindful of those attachments or those things that might be forecasting or putting things in the future. It's okay to do that, but in this particular circumstance, what they're saying is really just to be present with what is, to be as honest and open as you can, and just to flow with what happens, knowing that whether it becomes something more awesome or if it doesn't, awesome, like it really doesn't make any difference to your soul, to your radiance, to your amazingness. And remember that all relationships are really just teaching us how to be in alignment anyway. And if this one passes, then there'll be another one. Don't you worry about that. That's maybe even better. So I hope that helps you and makes some sense. And yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think. All right. So moving along to Phil. Phil, so you're thinking about some changes in work and wanting a bit of a reading on other paid employment opportunities. Okay, so let's have a look into this for you. Shuffling these cards. Right, Phil. Which one is really feeling like the strongest pull for me, for you? I think it's got to be this one. Okay, interesting. Examining self-identity, it says. Interesting. I'm just, really looking into all the little pieces of the, all the imagery that makes up that face there. Fascinating. Now, I don't know what you're seeing in this, but I'm certainly seeing here like a staircase coming up the throat. And kind of what I'm seeing at the top here is, it kind of looks like Aladdin's lamp, shining up Aladdin's lamp, and a genie comes out. That's what it makes me think of, that this Aladdin's lamp has been polished and there's that light coming out of it. There's those bits there coming out of it. There's all this amazingness in that inner world, or that inner self. So let me make a little connection with your energy and let's see what I can gather here. Do feel that the throat is relevant here. That staircase in the throat. I'm getting the message that asking is important, speaking up, talking. You know, maybe you see a job or an opportunity advertised somewhere and you wouldn't usually be as bold as to apply or inquire, but you do. It's that kind of boldness I feel your guides are wanting to talk to you about. Like, why not? Why not you? Why not now? Like allowing yourself more permission to ask, to inquire, or to talk to people, to put it out there. It's definitely, it's like the throat is the kind of the, when I look at that, I just feel like the throat is the stairway to the genie in the lamp. If you want to look at it that way. What else can I get with this? So the message I'm feeling for you is not to overthink it all too much. It's more about refining that inner channel, if you want to call it that, or that place within yourself. You know, when you get into those nice inner spaces during meditation, where you're nice and connected, nice and grounded, feeling nice and lined up. That's you polishing, you know, the lamp. And you can have creative ideas, inspiration that comes when you're in that energy. That's really the energy to be doing your thinking, to be pondering, to be asking questions, to be wondering, should I talk to this or that person? But the real, the two main things are just polish up that lamp through your meditation practices that get you nice and aligned. That's the only thing. Don't worry about all the other thinking. Don't overanalyze anything. Just what do you feel when you're in that place? What comes to you? What's the inspiration? And then work on it. Like, put it into the world through your throat. Ask, speak, talk to people, inquire over here. Ask that person. You know, you put it into action without the overthinking. You feel the inspiration. Don't overthink it. Just start asking. Just start inquiring. Just start using your throat center to start to get the energy moving. That's the feeling. Because if you start to go into the overthinking or analyzing or doubting or to and froing, you can just stay in that kind of energy. So it's okay if you don't get it right. It's okay if talking to that person becomes a dead end and there was no, feel like there was no point. It's fine. That it's all part of getting this energy in the throat moving, I think, and building your confidence, building your resilience to get things moving and shifting. So anything else I'm picking up on here for you around work, paid employment opportunities? It's just really important to maintain a positive, healthy status quo. So the self-care that you're doing at the moment is really important. Looking after all those, just everyday aspects of yourself: enough sleep, the right food, exercise, meditation, doing things that make you feel good, looking after your emotional well-being as well. All that kind of stuff creates a beautiful base for being able to polish up that lamp in your mind, that genie that comes with all the inspiration and the ideas. If we're out of kilter, if we're out of sync with ourselves, if our health is not that great, or we've got some other issue going on and we're not really quite feeling right, but we're trying to shine the lamp, it might be a little bit harder. So just making sure your self-care, your beautiful, bright, positive attitude is what is so powerful, and being able to look after yourself to maintain that wonderful state so that you can just dip in to meditations and and polish up that lamp, get some ideas and inspiration, and then just start to talk about it. If you don't know who to talk to straight away, write it down, write down your ideas, write down your inspiration. But in some way, whatever you experience with your inner genie, it gets expressed somehow into the outside world. So I hope that makes sense. I mean, there's nothing really specific coming in there about this or that opportunity or whatever, but it's like that is all being lined up, and it's just to you to be present and to look after yourself, and to keep tuning in and following the breadcrumbs and being positive and believing in it, believing in yourself and believing that it can be done. All of those are wonderful, powerful things for you to remember right now. So I'll leave you with that, Phil. Let me know what you have to say about that. And we'll move on now to Lee. So Lee, just a general tune in for you today. All right, so shuffling these cards here. Thinking of you, Lee. And which one is really standing out to me? I think it's got to be this one. Wow. Mentalizing emotional impressions. Wow. I'm discovering these cards along with you guys, really. Yeah. I've played with them a little bit, but not much. I've more been using those other ones of mine, the Work Your Light ones, lately. But this is very beautiful. I mean, I love that innocent face that is the backdrop to all that beautiful blue kind of cosmic energy. Well, also, what I'm getting here is kind of with the blue is like a frozen feeling. So when we're talking about mentalizing emotional impressions, what does that mean? It means when you have an emotion, instead of being with it and being in acceptance and allowing it to flow, we can mentalize it in order to feel safe, really, it kind of stops us from feeling the emotion and turns it instead into a mental concept, that when it's a mental concept, maybe it's a little bit safer, then I can place it there and put it there, and then I can analyze it, and maybe I can kind of control it when it's a mental concept. But when it's just an emotion free flowing, like, where's my safety in that? I'm feeling that's kind of what is the meaning of that, mentalizing emotional impressions. And so it looks to me like the blue could be like ice. So if the emotion is rising, we can freeze it by mentalizing it, by bringing it into the mental, into the mind, into some kind of logic, rationale, which obviously, I mean, we're all doing the best we can, that's the basic fact of it. And if we want to move that emotion through, we've got to let it move, don't we? Obviously, we don't really want to be freezing it, because then we're kind of holding ourselves in a pattern of dysfunction that's not really going to be that lovely to live in the long term. So let me connect with you, Lee, your energy. Let's see if we can bring this in a bit more to you, like more personal or more relatable. Lee, have you been experiencing any headaches? Kind of wanting to know. I'm just getting the prompt or the guidance of really just sitting with and being present with whatever it is that you're feeling, for better or for worse, Don't have to know where it came from. Don't have to know why it's there. Don't have to know any mental concepts about any of it at all. Just simply the fact that there's a feeling like, it's such a good practice for all of us to do this. What is present now? What is present now? Because we're quite often trying to just cover over what feeling is present, to put on a facade of, I'm okay, I'm fine, hi, how are you? Good, great, yay, awesome. And that's all good. That's how we cope, isn't it? But when we're having our me time and our connection time and we're wanting to feel that deeper alignment, it's not really going to get deep if we're not deep, is it? We need to feel what's there, what's truly present in my emotional body right now. What's truly present. And you notice the mind starting to go into labels. Oh, there's that, and I hate that so much, and I'm so sick of that, and it's bad to feel that way, and that's wrong, and that's an ugly feeling, and okay, if we took all the labels away from what that feeling is, it's just a freaking feeling. It's a note of the piano, it's a hum, a buzz, a ping, a fizz, whatever. It's a vibration. There's nothing wrong, bad about it. So if we allow ourselves to just feel it, it is extremely amazing. And actually, I just want to just quickly say a little personal experience that I went through recently was I had a full-on situation going on in my personal life, and it had me in all sorts of turmoil. And my mind, I went for a walk in nature, and I noticed my mind was so busy, blah, 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 blah. I could not find any kind of inner peace because my mind was thinking about this, thinking about saying this, thinking about what that person did there, thinking about la, 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 all over the show. And I thought, okay, my mind is so busy. That means there's a feeling I'm not allowing myself to feel right now. What is that? And so I just sat down on the side of a hill somewhere and just was present with what was there and completely surrendered to it, as though, so this is the feeling. You imagine if this is a feeling and it's like a wave at the surface of the ocean, you can imagine that you drop down under that wave and you're lying on the bottom of the ocean or just underneath it looking up, and that feeling can just move. There's no resistance to it, just complete acceptance. This is what is. There's a reason for it. I may not be aware of it, but I don't need to be. This is what is. I'm in complete acceptance, complete surrender, total forgiveness, no resistance to this, allowing it to be. Miraculously, when I did this, it blimmin' shifted. Like nothing really hugely miraculous. It wasn't like this amazing miracle, really, but I did get a movement of energy, which literally took less than a minute, whereas I could have spent, 5 more hours in that mental turmoil. And that little movement of feeling calmed my mind and enabled me to continue my walk with much more inner peace and clarity. Because, of course, we want to be in inner peace and clarity. Otherwise, how do our guides bring us the information? How do we feel the inspiration? How can we really be a portal for the divine if we're clouding all of that up with all of our mental busyness? So Lee, I know this is quite generic and quite general. I don't feel I'm being told anything that's really, specific here, but I do get a sense of some kind of inner conflict, and that it can be resolved simply by being really present with what is. And then you'll come back to you. I get this feeling of a layer being released and joy and lightness returning. So remember, we don't want to mentalize our emotions, and sometimes we're just doing it all automatically, aren't we? But let's bring some awareness into that. What are we really truly feeling? Allow it to really move. And I think with all of that movement, we often get the realizations, and it's really powerful. So I see you doing that, Lee, and I see a beautiful shift. I see you returning to flow and a lightness and a joy, natural, beautiful joy, not forced, not contrived, just effortless joy for no particular reason, starting to bubble up within you. As you realize, that You always were okay. Everything has always been okay. As soon as that little layer lifts, it reveals what's always already been there, which is love and joy and just peace and flow in the moment. And, I really do see you returning to that. So holding that for you, Lee, big time. You may still have access to that letting go meditation, which guides you through that. Guides you through, that real surrender kind of energy. But even if you don't, it's just really being able to just do what I described earlier, and I'm sure that you can do that. All right, so that was your card, Lee. Now we're moving on to Susanna. So Susanna's question is around transition, looking after myself and managing my priorities at this time. Okay, awesome. All right, so shuffling these cards, thinking of you, Susanna. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Examining self-identity. Again, same as Phil. Now, let me tune in with this for you, Susanna, because I was just picking up on some stuff for you just then. So let me come back to that and we'll bring this card in too. So for you, I feel this has a whole different meaning than Phil. And in particular, what I feel it's really trying to say to you is, are you those fears about what could happen, about what might happen, about what you might be about to go through? Because when I look into your energy, I see around you almost like, I kind of want to say like monkeys. Monkeys playing around in the background that are unsettling. And they're representing for me old fears about what has happened in the past. But if we get really awake and really aware and we examine self-identity, then if we get really deep with that, we can start to question, and I know you love this question, Susanna, who is fearful? Who is really worried about the past and what might happen now, and will it be the same, and can I go through that again, and all of that? Is that the real you? Is that the real you? And if not, then where's the real you right now? Let's bring her back to the forefront of your experience and allow those other fearful voices to be at the background, and then fading away. And then you're bringing your true self-identity to the forefront to be the manager or the equalizer or whatever you want to call it of this time that you're going through now. And I also got to bring in, to really consciously make an effort to consciously work with the universe, work with your guides in what you're planning and the events that you've got to go through and the different things that you're doing, the changes and that you are weaving in these higher energies, really asking for their help and really sitting in an energy that of being able to receive that, allowing yourself to receive that, even kind of commanding that help, if you like, if you want to put it that way, because you deserve it, because you can, because you are a connected, eternal, amazing soul energy. You're not that fear over there that goes blah, 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 blah in your ear. That's just a little cloud masquerading as truth in the background. You know, it's not what you really are. So let's examine, is that really me? Do I want to live in that reality? Is that really serving me? And be free enough to kind of let that go and let that real you rise to the surface, that real you who is confident, who is clear, who is connected, who is open-hearted, forgiving, loving, who knows she's going to be safe no matter what happens, who's able to put, you know, like delegate angels. You take care of this bit, you take care of that bit. Thank you very much. I am visualizing, you know, you're using your powers, your imaginative powers to visualize everything going smoothly, to visualize yourself maintaining balance through the different bits and pieces that you've got coming up, that you're calling back your truth, your energy, your vitality, your I don't know, what can we call it? Your soul energy, to be in this, to be the main player here, not those other players that have been affecting your mental and emotional state. You know, who are you is really the question, and are you living in that? So for this one, you know, interestingly, I see kind of a different thing. So for Phil, I was seeing like a genie in a bottle there. For you, I see the little love heart. See that little kind of love heart there? And I guess I just get the message, you are totally looked after here, Susanna. Will you allow us to help you? They're saying, can we help you? Would you put us to work, please? Would you just step into the energy of leader? And you're leading with your energy here, leading with the intention of how you're going to feel, how you're going to flow with this, what your mental state and attitude is going to be, and the delegation bit. I just get this love letter coming in from your guides, reminding you of how safe, how loved you really are in the real world, if you want to call it that, your eternal soul energy. And it's all going to be okay, is what they're saying. It's all going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You can do this. You are doing this. You can manage this. It's all about the attitude that you come with, the images you're putting into reality, the intentions that you have, and calling back your true self and not giving so much attention to those other parts. So, or so much identity to those other parts, really. You can love them and see them and hear them and forgive them and all of that. That's brilliant, but they are not your identity. What is your identity? Call that in and let that partner with you and help you in this transition. So I hope that helps you, Susanna. Do let me know. And now we're going to come to Kelly. So Kelly, your question was, is collaboration beneficial right now in your business? Because you're thinking of renting a space to practice from. And you've started feeling into who you could collaborate with. And I'm guessing you're meaning like rent a space with. You want to maybe possibly rent a space with somebody as you're kind of getting going in your business, possibly collaborating with someone, renting a space with someone maybe, or on your own, but yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Let's see what happens, what card we get around bringing more collaboration into your business, renting a space. Let's have a look here. Okay. Definitely this one. Oh, unbelievable. How does this happen? Seriously. You saw me shuffling, right? I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. They all look the same. So for some reason, this one just wants to keep coming out today, examining self-identity. Again, for you, Kelly, it's going to have a different slant than for Susanna and for Phil. So examining self-identity to do with collaboration and renting space and things. Let me just connect in with your energy. Let's see what I'm picking up on. So this is what I'm picking up on. The idea for collaboration, I feel, was a download. Like I see you in my mind's eye, and I see this line coming up from your crown, and I feel like that was a drop, like a drop. I don't know why, but that's the way I see it, like a drop that came in. You're on the right track with that. You're definitely on the right track with that feeling of wanting to collaborate. And I do feel there are people waiting in the wings to connect with you there. About renting, I'm going to come back to that card and we'll bring that in a minute, but let me just tune in about renting a space. I feel like that's going to flow. So it kind of feels like to work on the collaboration, like this is just what I'm getting, and you take it or leave it, of course. But this is what I'm feeling, that if you start with the collaboration piece, I feel like there might be some ideas that come in there about renting a space. So let's say you reach out to a group of people. Let's say you put a post on Facebook or wherever you hang out, and you talk, hey, I'm thinking of renting a space. Is anybody up for doing that with me? La, la, la. Maybe you'll meet some people who have their own ideas and you can kind of bring things together. I guess I get this feeling that going for the collaboration side first might then bring about the renting the place, or maybe the person that you want to collaborate with already has a place that you can kind of come in on and use as well. So leaning into the collaboration piece, I think, is going to help to flow with the renting side of it and getting your own physical space for doing your work. Now, the self-identity, examining self-identity part here, let's bring that in. So examining self-identity for you, Kelly, to do with this situation. I guess in terms of your question and what you asked in this card, when I've merged them together, I feel it's about really being clear on who's wanting, or where's that inspiration coming from about the collaboration. Why is that important? What is that urge, or where does that come from? Why? Because what I see when I connect with you is I see it's almost like this, your true self, your light, the light aspect of you, your essence, energy. I see it inside of you like a light balloon, like this. If somebody blew up a balloon of light, this is the random way that I see it. If somebody blew up a balloon of light inside your body, that's how I see it. It's like this energy, and that energy is motivating you, inspiring you. And I mean, I feel like that's kind of where this part of this kind of idea about the collaboration or whatever came from. And so I guess examining self-identity is really, for you, really, again, like I said with Susanna, kind of questioning, where are these thoughts coming from? Why? What is their, motivation? And then you can see more clearly, okay, this is coming from this larger or higher energy, and the motivation is this. And to just keep tuning into that higher motivation, because that's carving that pathway through you, rather than the lower self trying to be really strategical and controlling and manipulative and forcing things into place. If it's a true inspiration and download, it's going to come with its own roll on from that. You're not going to have to control things. It's more like just opening and being in alignment so that that download can make its way into your life and through and out to find people and to cause synchronicities and things like that. So leaning on and trusting in that, which that's the next piece of this. So examining self-identity, this was a download and it feels really good. So you're trusting that that's coming from a really beautiful, loving and high part of my nature. I really trust this. I'm leaning on this, and starting to use your powerful imagination to visualize things coming into place, keeping open, staying open, following the flow to allow things to roll on. And just keep, like, wherever that inspiration came from about the collaboration, go back to that feeling and ask, where is the best place to meet this person, or what is the next little piece of inspiration about this? Maybe you may get an idea about posting something somewhere, reaching out to a particular person, or any number of many different things. And just keep following those little breadcrumbs, believing in your vision and staying open to things moving and changing and flexing around, and be adaptable as you just stay open and keep allowing the energy to move. So I hope that kind of helps you, Kelly. I suppose it's just a little reminder of things that you already kind of know, but I suppose it can be helpful to remember these things and just to have that validation that I did see it as a download too. And you're on the right track. You're doing all the right things. So awesome. Good job. And Michelle, I'm going to come to you now. You are just wanting a general reading. So let's have a little look at what card comes out for you. Michelle. It'd be hilarious if it's the same one again. I hope it's not. I want a different card, but it's not up to me. Right, Michelle, which one is really standing out for you? It's got to be this one, is it? No. Oh, I thought it was the same one because it's the same color. Celebrating the world's diversity. Oh, cool. Okay. This is a really joyful vibe. Like that beautiful bird, which looks quite free. There's all those bubbles of kind of, I don't know, color over there that look really fun and light, joyful. And it looks as though, for this one, I feel like there's I can't move my fingers right. Up. Okay, that way. That looks like the energy is moving up, almost like a heart feeling that comes up into your head, and that you then experience, joy. You experience a beautiful reality as that heart feeling comes into you and floods your mind and your perception and beautiful things like that as you celebrate the world's diversity. So this is a really, really lovely card. Now let me tune in with your energy and bring it in to you, about you right now. So I feel your guides are saying, Michelle, you've come a long way. You really have. You've uncovered a lot of beautiful energies within yourself. You've seen through a lot of illusions as well. You've let go of a lot of things. You've gained a lot of clarity. You've reconnected with deeper, more authentic parts of you. You've made huge leaps in a short amount of time, and your guides are just really honoring your courage and your tenacity with just getting up every day and carrying on and keeping on going and keeping on being positive and shining your beautiful light and doing your very best to stay heart-centered and stay aligned and forgive and see others with love and things like that. You've done a lot of work which you will keep reaping the benefit of for a long time to come. You may not really understand the depth of the shifts that you've been through maybe until later on in your life, and you'll be extremely grateful for this last year, and maybe before that too, of your consistent effort and intention for moving more and more into the light. Now, about this card and this celebrating the diversity, exploration, they're saying, is really important to you. So even like, and this is on all levels as well, it is that inner exploration, that you've been doing, and inner noticing, inner awareness, present moment awareness, uncovering different layers of yourself. And it's also outward things. It's also the different people. It's also traveling. I feel also moving around, trying new things, being in different situations, experiencing different places, people, cities, groups, I don't know, whatever it might be. But I feel like this is important to your soul in some way. It has been really amazing for you, I feel, to find this deeper connection with yourself that you can now take with you, because it's always at home, it's always within you, wherever you are, it's always there with you, that inner connection, that heart energy that you can explore, on the in and on the out. More diversity, traveling in and out, and always have that home within that you take within you, with you, wherever you go. Just feel this sense of freedom and lightness that wants to come through you now, that there's a inspiration or a desire for more freedom, for more exploration, for more for deeper connections, for different connections, for that kind of diversity, because it's going to teach you so much about yourself and unlock all of these parts of you that you haven't felt for a really long time, and help you to call back parts of yourself as well, which is just going to be so beautiful. And I'm actually getting goosebumps down my legs thinking about it. So really, I mean, I know I haven't gone too much into the celebrating the world's diversity, but I just really feel that that's your message. The guides are just super proud of you, really happy with the progress that you've made. They commend you, they love you, they're with you, they're always going to be helping you. And it just feels that the next step, and whenever that might happen, and however that might happen, and whatever that might look like, but it really is allowing yourself to have a bit more freedom and a bit more, and well, letting that love that you've cultivated start to bubble out and inspire you on different places to go, maybe, or different people to hang out with, or different situations to explore. That is really, really, I feel like what your soul is kind of hungry for, So I don't know. Let me know. Is it? Is it hungry for that? Tell me your feedback. I'd love to hear it, Michelle. I hope that helps you. Lots of love. And so, Kiyomi, coming to you now. What am I supposed to focus on this year? You've asked. Daily life is so busy, but it would be nice to have some indications for a better future. Yeah. So cool. Let's tune in about that. What is good for you to focus on this year? Let's pull a card about that. Kiyomi. Right, this one is speaking to me. Ooh, I like this card. Ooh, I love that blue. Experiencing the reality of change. Interesting, interesting, interesting. What have we got going on here? Is that a butterfly? Yes, it is, isn't it? It's a that's a butterfly there. I think that's the little, the little antennae bit at the front and the wings. And that could be the back of I can't get, of another butterfly there. And it's kind of like two layers, isn't it? The butterfly at the front, and then that kind of, there's a shadow or a silhouette of a person at the back there. Yeah, I get a lot of a feeling of freedom and lightness with this, which is nice. So Kiyomi, let me tune in with your energy. Let's see what messages come through for you. Kiyomi, I really feel what to focus on this year is to bring more joy into your life. And that doesn't mean sitting there and thinking, okay, what can I do that would bring me joy? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can plan this out. And if I book this in on Thursdays at 1:00, because then I've got that little bit of time, and then I could do this, and then, like that's a mental concept. Joy can only be felt right now, in the moment, really, like right now. So when we're walking down our pathway outside and there's a butterfly that just flutters in front of your face and maybe just lands over there, then boom, you're in the moment, aren't you? You're like, no matter what you were doing, no matter what you were just about to do, what you've just been doing, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, wow, look at that butterfly. It's so beautiful. Look at its wings. It landed right there. This is amazing. You're in the moment with that beautiful butterfly and experiencing joy. And this is really the key to it. It's the mind is always going to be just regurgitating things about the past, problems, stories, drama, trauma, blah, 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 blah. Or it's going to be, I need to plan this. I need to do this. I need to have this. I need to go there. I need to get this. And living in either of those, it's deadening in a way, isn't it? It's like, ugh. It feels burdensome on either level. But when we can break through into just having moments of just snapping out of the past and the future and looking at what is right now. Right now, if you're sitting there, right wherever you're sitting right now watching this, you can maybe look out a window and you can see a tree or some flowers or some grass or even the sky, clouds or blue sky, whatever it is today. You're looking out there and this is right now. This is right now. Whatever is right now is beautiful. It's beautiful, but we don't see it because we're usually pasting or futuring, But when we take those clouds off and we actually go, oh my goodness, that tree is so pretty outside my window. Oh wow, look at those bees, or look at how that flower is just starting to bloom, or look at the way the clouds are moving, or the shape of them, or the sun shining on that particular object, or whatever. That we open up the space for more joy, more joy, more joy. Now, this isn't just a fluffy little spiritual practice for entertainment. This actually shifts your vibration in such a way that you start to allow more light into your life. So if you practice just experiencing joy in this way 5 minutes a day or something like that, you would significantly change your usual vibration that you hang out in, your usual energy that is usually you would uplift that vibration. So when you uplift that vibration, that means that now what you experience gets even better. You start to see that there's more love or over here, or there's opportunity over here, or a little synchronicity happens over here, you start to feel more connected with the universe, maybe get a bit of inspiration and some downloads about particular things. It starts to move you in a certain direction, and it's very, very powerful. So the words were experiencing the reality of change. I don't think that's something that we're making happen. So Kiyomi, I feel like the advice that wants to come through for you, it's not about thinking and planning, what am I going to do this year to focus on, what am I going to make happen, how am I going to, all of that. It's more an attitude shift of, I can experience joy right now, no matter what's going on in my life. Even if I've got a really busy day, I can go outside for 1 minute and I can just be present. I can just notice what is, and the beauty that is, and the love that is in this present moment. And that can uplift me for the rest of the day. And if I'm uplifted, I'm going to feel better in my relationships. I'm going to have more sanity. I'm going to kind of know what to do. I'm going to be connected with inspiration. Ideas are going to flow. And also opportunities are going to be attracted to me. I feel like things can come to you without you having to plan, or work things out in advance. My advice to you is just focus on letting a little bit more joy in and just see what happens. Don't try and make anything happen, but change in a beautiful way might start to flow to you as you practice that. So I'll leave you with that, Kiyomi. Let me know what you think. But yeah, it seemed pretty clear. Okay, so 3 more to go. Cherie, I'm coming to you next. Just have a wee drink of water. Right. So Cherie, general message, general reading about the coming month. Cherie. Okay. What's this one? Ooh, cleansing mind, body, and spirit. Oh, I love that image. Look at that. That is so cool. That really is. Is that the one on the front? Oh, no. Yeah, I love that. There's so much light and so much activation and so much energy. Goodness me. Where do I even begin? What is particularly interesting is that arrow there coming out of the throat. That's interesting. All this light kind of coming down here. Beautiful up the top there. Amazing. Ooh, oh my goodness. I don't know what your life is like at the moment, Cherie, but it does feel like like what could be so beautiful for you at the moment is doing some kind of, I don't know, like a Reiki session or some kind of deep healing thing, some kind of like a sound bath or a deeply relaxing thing where you get to just completely let go and relax and allow like all of these upgrades to take place within you. Oh, the messages I'm starting to get are yeah, it's going to be more productive for you to freaking to do self-care, to really relax, rest, rejuvenate, in whatever way that is for you. But I do see like or sense like it kind of a real relaxing thing where you get to really receive, where you get to really let go and allow yourself, like all of these changes, all of these thoughts, all of these shifts are kind of wanting to come together in a certain way within you. But if we just keep doing or being busy or not giving ourselves the time and the space. We're just prolonging or putting off that beauty and that amazingness. It's more productive for you to be doing that kind of thing for yourself right now, really allowing yourself to go into those deeper levels, to receive, to heal, to relax, to rejuvenate, because you're going to get so much more juiciness. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. There'll be so much value in that for you because of the way it will make you feel, because of the inspiration it'll give you, the certainty it'll give you, the light, the lining up with your true nature, the certainty about your direction, the downloads that you'll receive. It is like kind of having a bit of an upgrade that you then can walk out into the rest of the year with. So my message for you about this month is to freaking rest, rejuvenate, receive in some way, whatever way feels right for you. Let yourself receive and let your body bring together these upgrades, put them together, synchronize them. Again, I'm lost for words of what to say there, but what the word is I'm looking for. But all these bits of the puzzle that need to be kind of brought together that will give you this real certainty and strength and vision for the rest of the year. We're not going to get that through being busy right now. We're going to get that through resting, doing what you really need to do for yourself. That's going to be the most productive, most amazing thing, because look at all of that energy in the head. There's so much that's there that's going to be so useful for you this year. We just need to allow it to all come together in a way that you get and understand, and we can bring it into the conscious. Cool. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think about that, Cherie. And Juliet. Okay. So Juliet, you're saying in the last 6 months, your ability to feel energy has reduced a lot. And you're wondering if that's because of the medication that you've been taking, thinking that might be the cause possibly, but you're asking, is there anything I can do to get in touch with my intuition again? Okay. Let's tune in about this for you, Juliet. Okay, this one. Oh no. It's come out again, hasn't it? Examining self-identity. Oh dear. So I don't know if you've seen the other readings, Juliet, but this is the 4th time this one has come out today. Cracks me up. Examining self-identity. And it's meant a kind of slightly different thing for every person, of course, who has got it there. But I do feel like there is some kind of soul retrieval needed here for you. And that doesn't have to sound as deep and intense as it sounds. Soul retrieval. I don't know if it does for you, but for me, it sounds like some deep freaking, intense experience. Soul retrieval can be very subtle, sweet, and just a beautiful, just little remembrance in the moment of your true nature versus the identities that we've been living inside of. And so let me just make a connection with your energy so I can get clear here. Okay. So what I'm feeling is there's a layer of, how do I describe what that layer is? Like Like, I feel like, so this is you. Well, this is the real you, like the light of you, the soul essence, the intuitive part of you that's comfortable with herself and knows who she is and feels safe to tune into other people, to connect with energy, is confident in that, loves that, is joyful in that, and all of that. And then there's these layers that have been kind of placed over top of that, which is still there, by the way, still there, but there's some layers that have hidden it from your sight or your experience for the moment. And those layers, I feel, have got to do with other people. They have got to do with relationships, or got to do with what other people think of you. Some kind of like that. We could say it's kind of people-pleasing energy. Let me get clearer. How do I describe that better? Taking on other people's interpretations of things, giving other people power to affect you. This is the key. Other people having the power to affect you. Now, we all experience this. God, don't we? Blimmin' heck. But this is where real soul retrieval comes in, I feel, and I'm going to do something on Patreon about this soon, because I've been thinking about it a lot. But examining self-identity, and what am I? Who am I? Am I really? So let's say somebody affects you, triggers you, or maybe you don't feel safe to be yourself with that person, or it could be any number of different things that you have going on in any kind of dynamic with any person. But quite often, when we feel threatened or judged or hurt or anything, offended by somebody else, we kind of need to ask ourselves, well, who's really feeling threatened right now? This is the examining the self-identity piece, right? Who's feeling threatened by this person? Because that part of me that's feeling threatened or hurt or offended or scared or judged or whatever, that is not the real me. Yes, there's an element of that. Yes, I'm experiencing that for sure. But it's not really the true me. It's an experience. It's a cloud moving through a blue sky. It's not the absolute truth of what I am. If we pull back all the layers, what am I really? I'm an extension of source energy. I'm radiating into this realm. I'm riding a ray of love. I'm completely connected to God. I'm an extension of God. What does that mean? I can't be cut off and put over there. I am the very fabric of that. I'm the fabric of oneness. That's my true self. I cannot be damaged by what anybody says about me or what anybody thinks about me or, anything to do with anybody. The true essence of me is absolutely sovereign and always loved, always loving, always is love and is one and safe and happy and joyful and abundant and all of that stuff. And that's what soul retrieval is remembering this person has no power to in any way damage, hurt, or affect that true nature of mine. And who am I really? Am I that moving piece of fear or sadness or grief or hurt or judgment or whatever? Am I that? No, that's a little wavy bit of the mind, wafting through that we can catch on to and make an identity out of and pretend that we are, but it's not really the real us. So this is the process of examining self-identity. What am I really? Am I really that part that got hurt or that part that whatever? Because the point of this is that when you call back who you really are, Juliet, then you are calling back all your intuitive powers as well. Where have you let other people have power over you? Where have you let circumstances tell you what you can or can't do or who you can and can't be or what you can and can't feel, Calling back your radiant true nature into the forefront, and when you do that, you can start to just forgive or let go of or release these other things that you'd given power to keep you small or keep you blocked or whatever it might be, that you can rise again knowing that it's safe to be in your essence energy, because your essence energy is love. It never wants to do any harm to anybody. It never wants to control or manipulate anybody. It is love. It is oneness. It's safety. It's peace. It's safe to be in that energy. It's safe to be able to tune into other people. It's safe to use your intuition. And nothing out there has any power to affect that true essence that lives in that safety. It's only if we agree to give it power that we then can experience that. And that's, I feel like, what happened with those layers. And maybe at some point, maybe it's completely unconscious, maybe it's been a series of events that has culminated and kind of caused you to kind of retreat or lose your confidence, or feeling that, other situations or people maybe have more power over the real true self that is you. And so I feel like there's this kind of soul retrieval that's needed, Juliet, to call back, really ask yourself, who am I? What am I? And I'm not going to give any more power to those other pieces. I'm going to bring back that real me. And when you do that, all your intuition and that inspiration and beautiful stuff is going to come back with it. So that's your card, and I'm going to leave that with you. Let me know what you think about that. All right, lucky last, Sarah. Guidance around my uniqueness that I bring to the world and can offer others, therefore finding fulfillment and joy. Beautiful. Okay. All right, Sarah, let's connect with you. Okay, pull your card. Ta-da! Which is this? Ooh, look at this. Oh, expressing artistic creativity. Reminds me of Avatar, the movie, that color, that kind of cosmic energy. Wow, that's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that rainbow in the third eye and that little diamond there. And the passion, with the fiery bits under your eyes and on your nose, and the presence as well, the presence of that being in that card. She's present, isn't she? She is awake and aware and now. And all this energy's running through her. Big, like the throat, energy moving up the throat, energy circulating around the head. So good. My goodness. So Sarah, what is the message here? So, Sarah, I just got to go with what this card is bringing, which is this energy of well, let me put it this way. What I'm picking up on is a little bit like Kiyomi's message, if you were listening to that. Your gifts or well, I don't even know if we can call it that. I don't even know if we can call it that. It's more that the message is being in the moment, not planning, not going, oh, I'm going to, like if it is about artistic creativity, I'm going to make this and it's going to look like this and it's going to go to these places and it's going to sell this much and it's going to do this and la la la. It's more being in the present moment with, I don't know, some materials that you want to use or whatever, the garden even. I know you love your garden, whatever it is that you're working with, your medium. You're in the present moment. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're with the moment. You're looking at the beauty. You're tuned in and tapped in. And then what comes through you at that point is really just unique, spontaneous, and ultimately so creative. And goodness knows what it could be. But I just feel, Sarah, for you, it is not about having a plan. Like whatever will be will kind of evolve, I feel. But this artistic self-expression, expressing artistic creativity is more kind of similar to what I was saying to Kiyomi. Like it opens up your confidence, your joy in the moment, which actually expands your whole vibration, which means that you start to line up with synchronicities. You feel more confident, more comfortable, more happy, more joyful, generally, so that things can just move. It's like, it's like if we've been forcing a cork down in a bottle of water, and as we start to have more fun, we just let that cork rise up, and whatever will be from that. But it will evolve, and you can't plan it. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no message here about do this, do that, time frames or anything like that. This is about you tapping into your multidimensional self, through which can only be tapped into through the present moment. It can't be tapped into through what happened in the past, or dwelling on that, or fantasizing about what we want for the future, or having attachments or things like that. It is a true, just playful, artistic expression in this moment now. So does that make sense to you, Sarah? Let me just read your question again. Guidance around the uniqueness I could bring. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. It is the fulfillment and joy piece. Whew, man, I just feel when you start to just let yourself go with your creativity, there's so much joy, there's so much fulfillment in that. You don't necessarily need to go find an outlet to be paid, or even you don't need to share it with anybody just yet, but just for you, and see where that goes. That's the kind of energy that I get there. Just, first of all, just get into the present moment, tap in and be creative in whatever way, with no attachment to any outcome, just pure play, pure spontaneity, and you'll be surprised at what can kind of come through you. I love that card. Yeah. And as you do that, your whole vibration rises, and whole new different realities can be reached. Do you understand what I'm saying? Please write me a comment and tell me if you do. It's very cool. I'm excited about it for you. So that is everybody. I hope I haven't missed anybody. If I have, please let me know, and I'll tune in with you, off camera. But I think I did remember everybody. I'm wishing you all so much love. Take care. Happy New Year. And I hope to see you at the end of the month in our next Soul Circle. Which will be lots of fun as usual. So take care. Have a beautiful day. See you soon. Bye.